Missing persons, words. All right, so let's play through all the different sections here, right through them off the top, and afterwards I'll go back through and give you some details and let you know exactly what I'm doing, everything that's going on there. Before we jump into the song, please help out the channel, hit that subscription button, be doing me a big old favor, and I'd much appreciate it. All right, so let's get into words, missing persons. Okay, so initially we have this intro section, and just a heads up, this is also good for the section just before the solo, the pre-solo. This happens, and at the end there's a bit of an interlude that happens, and this happens right after that interlude as well. Okay, so this will be good for 3 different spots in the song. All right, so initially we just start here, and the song's got a lot of palm muting dynamics going on, so we could start it here just at the A power chord, 5 on the E with 7 on the A there, and we're just chugging away, 8th note palm muted strums here. So get that going and just lightly over the bridge there. Get plenty of gain on there, get some of that like 80s chorus effect, all that good stuff. Okay, and we're just chugging away. Okay. So a good couple measures of that right off the top, and then we kind of do this accent where we unmute and then just hit like a big, kind of dynamic power chord right there. All right, same deal, same A. You can add like that 7 on the D with it just to give it a little extra oomph. So it's just a quick, all right, and then we get right back to those palm muting strums following that. Okay, so it's just kind of this little dynamic that happens quite a bit in the song here, especially like the intro and the verse and all that. All right, so we go through that whole section there, and then we drop down to these kind of descaling bass note chords. Essentially, it's like an A chord, right? But we're going to want to hit a G bass note. All right, so something like this where you can just do part of that A chord where you hit like the 2 on the G and the 2 on the B and the open E. All right, and then we'll just fret that G bass note here with the third finger, 3rd fret on the E. And you want to hit the bass note. Then we hit the G string, B, back to G, and then that open E. Okay, and then we just walk it down now so that we're at the second fret here. And I just like to wrap the thumb over and hit it that way. If you don't have a big, long thumb, you could just do it this way where you shift and, hit the bass note with your index and then use the middle and the ring to hit those twos. It's just a little more bunched up, so I like to use the thumb in that. And you hit that 2 bass note there, the G flat, all right, and then we just pick through that bottom part of the A chord the same way. All right, and then we just land on a D chord. Okay, basic D chord here. And you can hit like the D bass note with the 2 on the G, and then pick through the G, B, G to E, same style. Okay, so slowly here would be something like. Okay, so just this kind of walking down little progression that happens at the end. Fun to play. All right, so let's just get this all up to tempo now. Okay, the verse gets going, and same kind of strumming style with that single dynamic on the A power chord here. All right, so you want to do about 4 measures worth of that. All right, and then it'll jump up to an E. Okay, so you play it, this voicing here, 7 on the A with the 9s on the D and G, and you kind of hit that E dynamic, just unmuted. All right, and then we drop to like a low open E and the 7 on the A for that octave there, and just strum on that 8th note style palm muted. All right, and you can sneak in a few kind of unmuted strums there. All right, after that first measure. So just like that, and then just continue on with those muted bass note strums. All right, so after that it'll shift down to a D. All right, so 5 on the A with the 7 on the D and G there. Hit that unmuted, strum it to finish the measure, muted. All right, and then at the end of this D here, it kind of changes each time we go through the verse pattern. Initially, he does this harmonic kind of arpeggio that happens. So you're still making that D chord, 5 on the A with the 7s on the D, G, and B. But you kind of want to do this harmonic where we're going to pick from the B, G, D to the A string and then back down again. Okay, just kind of picking through that chord with harmonics. All right, just a fun little way to finish the progression. And the next time through, it'll end a little different too. So let's do this initial first time through. All right, and as we go through the verse progression again, everything stays the same except for that very end measure of the D. It kind of adds a little something extra. So we'll be at that D at the very end. All right, but now we do this funky little slide up and slide out of the D chord. So let's just slide up that bass note, and then we'll hit the 7 on the B, and then slide out the 7s on the D and G there. So it'd be like, okay, just something like that. All right, picking through it, sliding it out, and then it drops to this part of an F chord to finish it. Okay, so you just hit the 4D, 3G, 2B. Okay. All right, and that'll get us into the chorus section. All right, so let's do this whole part of the verse up to speed. Okay, chorus section, we get a new chord. We got the B. All right, so we'll do it up here, 7 on the E with the 9 on the A, And you just kind of want to hit the power chord of that, you know, the E and the A right there. All right, and then we'll pick through it a little bit with the 9A, 9D, 8 on the G. Okay, and then we drop down to A here. Okay, so 5 on the E with, and initially we want to do an A suspended 4, which is basically just fret all the 7s from A, D, and G. Okay. Alright, and then we'll come off that 7 on the G to the 6th G just to make it a regular A now. Okay. And then we finish it by coming up and hitting an E. Okay, so 7A, 9 on the D and G there. Okay. And we go through that 3 times, and then we drop down to this interesting little progression here where we hit a couple of C chords here. Okay, 3 on the A with the 5 on the D and G. Bring it up a set for the G power chord. Okay, 3 on the E, 5 on the A and D. Hit that a few times. Alright, and then just finish on a big E chord. Alright, and then we would follow that up with some open E palm muting power chords. Okay. Alright, and then we just finish on this dynamic of 1, 2, 3 on a unmuted E power chords. Alright, and that'll get us back to our verse progression. Okay, get into this solo now. And it's pretty just a melodic solo, nothing too like shreddy about it. Alright, so we'll come up here and we'll go 14B, 14G, 14D. Alright. Okay, and then we'll bend the 14 on the G, come back to regular 14. Hit 14D, bend 12 on the D. Alright, go through that whole thing again, but instead of bending the 12 D at the end, we'll come up and we'll bend the 15 on the B instead. Alright, and we would just go through that whole thing twice. Okay, we get a little interlude section in there. And if you wanted to do the chords for this, basically you just do a couple measures of E and then a couple measures of D. Alright, and the lead guitar is up here doing this little octave riff. We're at 16 on the G and 19 on the E. And we just hit the 16 G and then a couple of 19s and then just repeat that. Okay, and you do it twice per measure and do about 4 measures worth. Alright, and at the outro here, we get kind of an extended version of the ending of the intro section. So like I said, that it happens here at the end, and with this time we're going to add a bit of the A arpeggiation before we get to our A with the G note, A with the G flat note, and then the D. Okay, so start with the A chord, alright, and then we would just pick 2 on the D, 2G, 2D. Okay, hit a 2B, 2G, and then an open E, 2B. Okay, so just kind of picking through it. And then we would get to what we did previously, that G bass note with the the bottom half of that A chord, picked just how we did it before. To the G flat, and then to the D chord. All right, and we would jam through this whole descending progression here about 3 times. All right, and at the end we kind of get this big dynamic thing that happens. We hit a D chord, and this is kind of like off tempo, just locking up with like the drummer, and the dynamic happening at the big flourish ending. Okay, so hit a D chord, let it ring out. We'll come over, hit some B chords here. Just hit about 3 of them, let them ring. Down to the G power chord, hit it once, let it ring, and then just end it on a big E chord. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Like it, share it, leave a comment. It's always good to hear from you. Do me a favor and hit the subscription button. I put out a video pretty frequent, so you don't want to miss out on that. Check out the links in the description box below. I have really cool links for tablature books, all the gear I use, t-shirts, fun stuff like that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.